are joined by Michael O'Hanlon with the Brookings Institution. Michael, good to see you. What does this draft tell us, Michael, about Putin's military strategy? And do you think it signals that Russia could be struggling here to sustain its war effort?
Hi, Jenna. Well, first of all, just to give some perspective, that makes for a larger Russian military than we have in the United States, even though our population is 2.5 times that of Russia. And so this really reinforces that Russia is on war footing. I'm afraid that it does not necessarily show Russian weakness. I mean, you're right to ask the question, because every time Putin needs to issue another draft summons, he's acknowledging the war's going on. He's acknowledging Russian soldiers are dying, being hurt. But he's also built up such a mystique about this war, such a twisted version of reality in the way it plays in the Russian press, that Russia is somehow under attack and that this is a defensive war and they're saving the homeland almost World War II style. That I don't think he's politically vulnerable just because he's had to do this. And unfortunately, of course, his domestic critics have been largely muzzled or even killed off. So this is a man who, in his own mind, is trying to recreate the period of Catherine the Great, the Russian Empire of yesteryear. And he's prepared to go to some pretty great extremes to pursue that vision, thinking that Ukraine will crack first, or that American and Western political will to support Ukraine will crack first.
Yeah. Germany's Chancellor, Michael, says Europe, and this is a quote, is not at war, but no longer at peace with Russia. What do you make of that statement, Michael? And how significant is it if European leaders are thinking about Russia in that way?
Well, Jenna, I think that reflects, of course, the frustration, not just with the length of the Ukraine war, but now these drone incursions into NATO airspace, and also the attempts by Russia to assassinate certain Western leaders. For example, I believe a major German military manufacturer was targeted several months ago, and there have been some Russian dissidents killed on West European soil over the last 10 to 15 years. So I think that's what gives rise to the German chancellor saying we're no longer really at peace with Russia the way they're behaving. And I think, analytically, factually, he's correct. I don't know what good it does to say it. Maybe he's trying to get Putin's attention. Putin probably wants to get a little bit of a rise out of us collectively. And so I'm not sure it really tells you how to make the policy more effective, but I think the chancellor's correct.
Yeah. Michael, where does this all go from here? I mean, this certainly seems to be an escalation. Given your expertise, where do you think it goes now?
I think we all need to put more pressure on Vladimir Putin. That includes certainly Europeans, Chinese, and Indians, but it also includes the United States. I think we need to put forth additional money for supporting Ukraine. It doesn't have to be as much as the Europeans are asked to provide, but it should be some. We should all toughen sanctions, for example, making sure we all have the same ships that are on our watch list, so that we can make sure Russia doesn't avoid and evade the oil price cap that's been placed on their global petrochemical and hydrocarbon shipments. So we can try to clamp down on the money that Putin's got available. I think that kind of pressure can ultimately make a difference on the battlefield and in his political standing, even though this draft call-up probably won't.
Yeah. Okay, Michael O'Hanlon with the Brookings Institution. It's always good to see you, Michael. Thank you so much.